Oh, okay, we live. Hi,
Oh,
how you doing?
hey. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coley Crowns. I'm
Yes.
Ashante.
And I'm Lori, and welcome to our Queendom. Happy Black
Hey.
History Month.
Black Power.
We got our colors. We look like we're in Jamaica with the couples. We
Oh,
got we're here. We're ready. So we're celebrating two things as if we're there living vicariously through the couples. And we're also celebrating Black History because it's February. And that's what we do. Okay?
yeah.
Yes.
So, for those that are new to us, we are the Coley Crowns. We recap Married at First Sight. We do this every Sunday at 4:30. Except for next week because
Oh,
it's Super
yes.
Bowl. So, we'll be taping. What did we decide? Saturday?
We're going to be taping a different day next
Stay
week.
tuned.
Stay tuned for that. We'll let y'all know. So, oh no. Ashanti, did you freeze again? We're doing so well. Okay, she's frozen. She'll come back. I don't want to stop the momentum. We're just gonna jump in and just be excited that these episodes are still short. I'm still excited about that. So I'm gonna kick Tay out. Oh, she's back!
I'm back.
Yay! I
Don't
was
kick
like,
me
I'm gonna
out.
keep going. Gonna kick you out and let you come back in, girl.
I don't know what it
Girl,
is. This only happens when we're taping live. Is it the bandwidth? I don't know. It's
maybe
only
it
this is the
takes a
only time it
lot.
happens.
Maybe it takes a lot, girl. You're gonna have to invest in a supercomputer and some better internet. I don't know.
A sponsor? Hello, that sounds like a perfect sponsor opportunity.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't know about
Okay,
that one.
my bad. I was just
But
saying
okay.
I'm happy these episodes are still shorter. I end up being able to rewatch certain sections because it wasn't 2 hours. So I'm still excited about this.
Okay, great, great. So, disclosure on my end, I did not get to watch the full episode or the after party. So,
You have one job.
sorry.
You have one job.
Sorry, had a lot going on this weekend. So I will catch up, but I'm sure it can't be too much I missed. But we'll get
I'm,
started. We'll see.
I'm wondering if these episodes are short because they didn't have a lot of content. Because even what we have watched, it's really not a lot of things happening.
No.
So I'm wondering if it was just like, oh, it's a perfect time to have shorter episodes because we really don't have that much content. I don't know. But yes, let's get started with what Ashante did watch, and I will fill in the gaps.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I think we usually start with the same couples every week. Every week. So Jasmine and Eris, we'll
Do
start with
we want to
them. Is
start?
that okay?
No, no. We got to
Oh,
go to the ones that had nothing really going on. We'll start with my favorite couple. Okay. So, my
okay.
favorite couple,
Well,
Chris and Nicole. I think we're on the episode for like 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't remember seeing them a lot. They had their rum tasting, they had dinner.
I was about to say that's the couple I have like the least amount of notes on.
That's what I was
So
like. That was
I
it.
don't know what may
So,
have happened afterwards, but yeah, the rum tasting, which
yes.
I was like, oh Lord, Nicole looked like she about to fall over, like
But she was holding
taking them
it.
shot.
But
She
why
was
did they
holding
have
her
to
own
do
though.
shots? I don't understand. Couldn't they just
I
sip
didn't
it?
understand that either.
And if
I
you
think
like
because
it,
they
you
didn't
finish
have
it.
to. They ain't forced them, right?
No.
But yeah, she could have just sipped on it and be like, "Yeah, I'm good on that one," because that
Yeah.
was gonna be a lot. When he was like six more, I was like, "Oh shoot, that's too much." Wow.
They had
But
them out there
it brought some life
dancing.
into Chris.
Oh,
I
it
was like,
did.
look at him dancing, doing his
Dancing.
little.
Yes. I loved it. He said, and one and two and this and I was like, go. Go. I'm gonna take a picture of Tay right now. She is frozen in the cutest. She looked like she in a fifth grade picture. So cute. We'll just leave her right there. Anyways, Chris and Nicole were doing the rum tasting. Really
I can
wasn't.
hear you
Oh,
when
you
I go
can't talk
frozen.
about you? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I thought you were gonna hear it on the rewatch. I didn't know you can hear me right now. My bad.
No, it's my fifth grade picture.
It did. It was so cute.
It was a terrible picture. I never go back and watch these because I'll just be like, I don't want to see.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Thank you, best friend.
Um yeah, so they didn't really do much. I know she brought up this whole old Nicole thing and how she was selfish and she only cared about what she wanted and she could be a little mean or whatever, but I was just like, oh, okay.
So I guess the one thing that came up that I do remember seeing is they had the conversation about kids. And so she said
Okay,
that
so
she
that's the
never
other one. Yes. So we can go there. I just
wanted.
wanted to the rum tasting, he was just saying he would not be okay with old Nicole. So now she's new
Mm-hmm.
Nicole. And she kept doing this and she was like kind of a little self-conscious about it. And she's like, does that bother you? And he was just like, whatever. I'm drunk, you're drunk, whatever, it doesn't matter. So yes, now we go to the dinner because that was the only other scene I remember them in. And they never showed this lady's dress. I wanted to see it because it looked like a what do you call those ice skater kind of dresses? I wanted to see the whole thing. They never showed
Oh,
the whole thing. That was just me. I just wanted to see it. So yes, go ahead, continue.
okay, thank you. So they're at the table and he asks about kids. Let's talk about kids. And she says that in the past she never really wanted kids, but now she's at a point that she's open to children. And he says he's always wanted or visioned having these kids, a boy and a girl. And then I was like, well, maybe I missed something because they were like, oh, yeah, we can revisit this in a year or two. I'm
Ridiculous.
like, that's a little too
Ridiculous.
late to be talking about this later, right? Because what if her open never happens and
Exactly.
he still want kids? So what do you?
That was such a
Okay,
strange
so I wanted to
timeline.
get your thoughts on that. But
I was
okay,
just like, first of all, I was like, what is now? Now you're open to kids because Married at First Sight or before the show? What did you tell the experts? Why did they pair you with somebody who really wants specifically
right,
a boy and a
a
girl?
boy and a
Like
girl.
he's gonna sell
Yeah,
the other one. If he gets two girls, one of them is out. Or if he gets two boys, gotta go. Live on the streets. I don't know. But he's very specific. And then she's kind of like, meh, that's weird. I don't understand why you would put those two people together on something this big. So,
that was my first thought. Was like, well, then how did they get matched? If they both were like, we're open, okay.
right.
But he said, I envision my life with these kids, and she's like, I just changed my mind like 2 seconds
Yesterday,
ago.
I don't understand. It was so strange to me, but I was like, okay, here we go again. And what I don't understand about the experts now, I'm just going to use quotes because I get they have life experiences because they're married people or divorced people with Devon Franklin. And I get that they probably have certain backgrounds and degrees, but I don't think they're actually using their expertise of the 15 seasons before this. I get season 1, 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. You're still kind of figuring out how you're going to put these couples together. We're 16 deep and you're still making like dumb mistakes.
Superficial.
Yeah, like why are you
Mm-hmm.
putting these people together? Like this is obvious from jump. It's not even something that let's see how it works out together. No, these are fundamental issues that we've seen didn't work in previous seasons. Don't keep doing
Right.
that. It's
Learn
either
from your
they're not
mistakes.
actually right. They're either not trying to make couples, they're trying to make TV, which I get, or they're just dumb. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally think they maybe come up with a couple pairs,
Mm-hmm.
but production makes the final
To the
decision
final.
of like, no, we
Oh,
want these because
it's gonna
TV.
cause
Um,
some sparks or whatever, or
so I think they
fireworks.
have a heavy say on who,
Mm.
but I can see that the experts, you know, identifying couples like, okay, we think these would be good couples, maybe
Mm-hmm.
this person with this one, and then production comes and says, yeah, no, we think this one actually should go with this person and mix it up.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, really, it's all about TV.
It
So,
is. It just seems like we've seen this before. This is not surprising that
right.
kids, finances, now political
Mm-hmm.
um, leanings. We've seen been issues that have been hinted at, hasn't really been outright, but there's certain things that are non-negotiables that I feel
Right.
like people should be aligned on those basic things. And if not, don't put them together. What are you doing? They are not going to overcome that. But
They're
anyways,
not.
digress.
So we'll see with Chris and Nicole what happens a year from now when they decide to discuss having kids or not.
Still my favorite couple, and I do want to read. So now we're past the weddings. Do we want
Mm-hmm.
to re-say? Are they going to say yes on decision day? Yes, long term now, or do we want to wait till the honeymoons are over? Because now
Can
that
we
they've
wait and
seen
do it
each
at the
other,
halfway mark?
no, then we'll know what's going to happen. We do it before they even see each other. I would think we would,
Mhm.
okay, now we've seen something, and then we change our minds when we get to halfway point.
Okay, long as I get this still. Let's wait till after honeymoon then.
Okay.
Let's see what happens to honeymoon. Then we'll come back and update our prediction.
Okay, good. All right, next
Okay.
couple. The couple that should not be there, because I voted them out last week, and they're still showing up on the TV. Dom and McKinley. Why? Why are they
I
still
just
here?
wrote they're weird together. I had nothing else. Everything just seemed off.
Mm-hmm.
Everything with them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what happened with them
So
this
first, I think
episode.
the first
What happened?
real scene we saw, they were going on the boat, and it was just such an awkward scene. It was they go as if they are not waiting for someone to come take the boat out. And
Oh yeah, that was confusing.
they were like,
That was
who's
so
gonna drive the
confusing.
boat? And are you gonna drive the boat? And it was just these random jokes or conversations about nothing. I was just like, what is going on? Oh, you're gonna drive the no, I don't want to. I don't want to go. Do you want to go? You should go. I don't want to go. I was like, what is happening? Get on the boat. How far you want to go? That far? No, not that far. This far. Oh, that far. What are y'all talking about? Not even their little tour guide was fun. All the other like the guys were fun or making jokes or whatever. They were just like, just come over here. Get on this boat.
It was a
Let's
silent
go.
ride, wasn't it?
It was like, oh,
I don't
there's
remember
nurse
hearing
sharks in there.
nothing from either one of them.
They were talking
Oh,
about
okay.
nurse shark,
Shark coming.
and then he was just like, oh.
Oh, and then they start talking about her boobs, right? Him be saying he a boob guy, and
Oh yeah,
then
the view
something with
or
the life
whatever.
jacket.
It's terrible.
It
It's giving
they could have cut
bimbo.
all that out.
And is there a male bimbo word? It's giving female bimbo, male bimbo.
I'm sure there is. I can't think of what it would be.
That's what I was getting the whole time. I don't know why they're there. I voted them out.
What else happened with them? Oh, they had this whole little thing. Oh, when they went to dinner, I do remember this part. And he was like, yeah, I built the table and then I caught the food and did
More
that.
stuff.
And then she was like, he was trying to be funny, was not funny. And then she was like, I think he's joking. Ma'am, he's joking, but it's a terrible joke. And then she was like, oh, he thinks he's funny, but he's really not. But sometimes he's funny. Don't tell him I said that, though. He's not
Girl,
funny, man.
he's
He
not even a little. First of all, they did her
not
dirty for
even.
her entry walk into dinner where she almost
Oh,
fell.
I missed
They
it.
did not need to
Oh,
put
I
that
missed
in there.
it.
You didn't know. Anyways, we'll just skip on past that. And then she had this outfit on, like she was going to the club and he looked like he was going to go play golf. And I was like, did y'all not come from the same hotel room? I don't know.
Coordinate.
Something. And then they get there with these dumb jokes. And she was like, oh, I hope I don't have to bait your hook or something. And then that's when he started doing jokes. And she was just like, so I'm going to have to bait your hook. Ma'am, what are y'all talking about? Do you even know
They don't
like
have nothing to talk
each
about.
other's name? Do you know like where he lives? Do you know that he actually doesn't have anywhere to live? Like that's what you should be talking about right now.
Now that's so
True
true. They have not
homeless.
shown any like real conversation.
Where do
Like
you work?
everybody else
What
has
do
had
you do?
some kind of they have not had that, huh? And they have not.
Zero.
I feel like they really are like they have not. They don't gel, and they probably just don't really talk, and so they have to piecemeal these scenes together just so we can have
It's
something
terrible.
between the two of them because everything has been just like, what in the world? What are y'all talking
Even the
about?
pool
What are y'all
scene
doing?
was like random. Oh, I love boobs and
I'm
the
not paying
boobs are
attention to that.
screaming at me. Oh my God. I was just
Oh,
like, sir, I feel like they've already started hunching. This is what happens when you start hunching and you have nothing to talk about. Oh, you're just waiting for the next hunch. I don't know. Anyways, they voted off my island. I'm over them. Next.
well, since we on them, I guess we can go to. I feel like Gina and Clint. I felt like I was almost watching like Where's Waldo? Like where are they? Where are they going?
Why
They
are they
keep talking
going
about
this way?
being lost. I'm like, what is going on with these two?
And why were they going like first of all, let's talk about the after party. So you missed this after party then, right?
But who was on it?
It was Gina. I gotta remember these names. It was Shaq, and it was some podcaster. So it was just them two. And Gina explains that they've had basically a horrible first couple of days. That their flight was delayed going down there. So I guess they're on different flights because I don't understand why other people didn't have issues. So their flight was delayed and their luggage was lost for 3 days. So that's why they're wearing those terrible Jamaican shirts and just gears that they're finding from the hotel because they did not have anything. And then it kind of makes sense when she was pulling stuff out of her bag, like I got this and I got that, because that was probably all of her possessions that she had left. She didn't have her real bag. So she was probably like, oh, I got a couple things that I could wear today that I don't have to buy somewhere else. But it was such a random scene that was not necessary if you're not going to tell us that they lost their bags, okay, in the episode. Right. So they go on this tour to nowhere because we never see a waterfall. Did you see a waterfall?
No, I just saw them get into some body of water. I mean, as far as I know, that could have been just a large puddle. I didn't see nothing.
It was like knee deep. They didn't even sit in the water. They weren't even
and
doing
there was nobody
nothing.
Else around. It was like they just walked into a creek or I don't know. It was so weird. That's why I said I feel like I was in Where's Waldo? Where are they?
That scene was just so weird to me. They just kept coming off the bus and having these random, like, oh, yeah, we could stop over here. Maybe we could go to these shops over here. And I was like,
yes. What is going on? What I mean,
I was cracking up. I was like, what is this? And then they get to it and they're like, oh, we finally made it. And it was just nothing. I was like,
nothing, nobody. It just so random. I don't know what was going on there. Okay. And then what were they even talking about?
Nothing. He was just saying like, oh, she stayed calm under pressure a little bit. And
Oh yeah.
then he was like, yeah, like the roads less traveled, which why do people say that? Because this was the road less traveled and you were pissed the whole time. So no, you don't like that. Don't say dumb stuff like that just because you heard somebody say that. You actually wanted to get there before 15 hours later because Gina said on the after party that it was supposed to be a 45-minute ride and it turned into 3 hours.
Whew.
3 hours. Okay.
Wow.
So, so don't say that. So that was just a random conversation. They did kiss, kind of a peck, maybe. I don't know. It was just like,
Okay.
y'all could have just scratched this whole scene out
The whole
and
scene.
had something in the bed later. Be like, wasn't that crazy trip? Like we were stuck for like 3 hours, and we finally got to a waterfall. But it was such a long day. Woo! I'm ready to go to sleep. That could have been the whole scene. And it would have been done.
Honestly, yes.
Been done. That's all we needed to hear.
Listen, they need to go ahead and hire us as like editors so we can tell them, okay, cut that out. We don't need to see any of
this will be
that.
an hour episode.
Okay.
An hour.
Y'all need some help. We'll help you condense it to this. We can help you some more. Hit us up.
But anyways, let's get to the good part.
What? Oh, with her and him?
With her.
Okay,
and
you might
him.
have to help me here. Okay.
So they go to a cabana. I think this is the next day. They go to a cabana. They go meet up with Sober. I mean, sorry, not Sober. His name was, I forgot what his real name was. But
I don't know, but that was funny. I didn't remember hearing that.
So they order their drinks.
Later,
right. They order their drinks and then they having a conversation. He's like, man, I think we like get along. You know, I'm looking forward to how we progress. You know, I was so impressed by you yesterday, blah, blah, blah. This girl out of left field pulled out a whole Glock or shotgun or whatever weapon of your choosing, an axe, I don't know. And she said, yeah, but I'm just not really feeling the vibes between, I don't know the exact words, y'all, but I'm not feeling the chemistry and the connection and the vibes. Like, I don't even really want to kiss you like that. Like, it was just like shots fired, everything that came out of her mouth. And it was just like nonchalant. Like, I just don't feel that way, right? What do you think? He was like, well, yeah, I guess, but you know, we're going to have time to kind of connect or whatever. And I think he was okay with that. Then she done turned the whip around, okay, and said, I'm also going to run you over with my car. And I'm going to say that I don't like the way you were born. I don't like your red hair.
I don't like gingers,
like your gingery features. And it's not your fault. I just don't like it. But that's what you are. It's like, girl, what happened between yesterday and this moment right here? Because it just seemed like it didn't even go in line with everything else. What happened? And this is why I go back to saying she's a liar, because when she was talking to his friends and they were like, well, do you think he's attractive? Yeah, he's hot.
Yeah, he's sexy.
But he's hot. Hot? Like on fire? Like red hot? That's what you meant? Because he's a redhead? Like, what are you talking about? Which one is it?
That is exactly what I started thinking about. And I was like, wait a minute. You was just telling this man's friends that you thought he was sexy and hot and all of
that
this.
Was 2 days ago.
They don't told him that.
Oh, yeah.
And you know they don't told him that. So he's thinking, oh, yeah, okay, my wife likes me. I'm good. And now you gonna hit him with that? Like, girl, where did all this come from?
Something.
And happened. I thought exactly what you said. It's like she lying somewhere. She's
lying for sure.
Why?
But he also, even though he seemed like his ego was hit a little bit, a lot of it, but he didn't seem uber shocked. Like, I don't know. It felt like it was something happening between them. It did not feel normal that she just randomly just woke up one day and was like, I'm going to tell this man I don't like him. Today's the day. And that we're going to keep trying. Oh, no. We lost Tay again. at least she looks like more stoic here. Since you can still hear me, I'm just gonna lightly talk about her. Anyways, but it just feel like we were missing a scene. Maybe it wasn't on camera, but I feel like this was set off by other events. And she went a little too hard on him. And I don't like how she just came at him. And I feel like this could have been a conversation. This could have been pillow talk, not like a setup scene for everybody to see. Oh, Tay's coming back in on a different camera. Let me close you here. Okay.
Oh,
Here you go.
child.
I can't even delete you. Oh, I don't want to kick you out of the studio. Can I kick you out? Okay, there you go. You go. Yes. So could you still hear me?
For a little bit, and
then it was just
completely
like
went
goodbye.
out.
Yes. So yeah, I was just saying, I think there was a missing scene that we didn't get, and that this conversation that she had with him could have been pillow talk, not for the cameras. I feel like she went a little hard. But
oh yes, she definitely went very hard, and I agree. Last thing I heard you say was about how he didn't seem like he seemed hurt, but not like he couldn't get over it.
Yeah.
So I think he's like, okay, it's still early. Let's continue to get to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're hot, so I'm going to continue to stay, and hopefully I can change your mind, and something can grow out of this.
Mm-hmm. So now, after party.
Okay, yeah, come with the tea.
Shaq said, "Oh, you see his reaction right there? He was hurt right there, because typically he would be saying a whole bunch of words and his ego was really, really bruised right there. Like, if anybody knows Clint, he loves his hair. And for you to tell him that his hair did not, like, you weren't attracted to him, then that really bruised him." And then they did a montage, a slow-mo montage of Clint putting his hands through his hair and them zooming into his face. Like, where's the camera? This is how close they were on Clint. I didn't need that in my life.
They're trying to show you the hair follicles coming out of his scalp.
Like, I don't know. And she was like, "Well, I really like his hair." Oh, thank you, Zenny. Sponsorship. Hey, Zenny.
Hey, that's what he's from too.
We'll reach out to Zenny later. Yeah. So I was like, why do we need this? But okay. And then not Kirsten, Lord, don't know these people's names. Gina was like, I actually told him I really like his hair. Like he's a full, thick head of hair. He don't care about a hairstylist telling him about his hair. He wants his wife to be attracted to him. What are you talking about? Get out of here. Get out of here. So then,
now I will tell you.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say this one. I can tell you, I changed my mind on. So on the first episode, I said that it was like a possible. I was flipped between Nicole and Chris and Gina and Clint, and I went with Gina and Clint. Yeah, nah. So I'm team Nicole and Chris now. I can go ahead and say that.
Now you want to.
Mm-hmm. I was flipping a coin.
Okay. So then we see previews from next week where people are debating this online. I wanted to get your thought process of this. So we only see a clip, so we don't see the whole thing. But basically, they're meeting with everybody in a group, which I was surprised we didn't have this week. Usually it's like
pretty early.
Yeah, they have at least one group activity, but they didn't do it this time, whatever. So it comes up, never mind. Gina brings up the fact that, yeah, we're having some physical attraction issues, so we're trying to work through. So she keeps it real basic, real general. And he said, "Oh yeah, definitely we're having some issues. And this is my issue that I probably didn't tell you." anytime.
Clint and Sandy?
Yes, you missed this too, girl.
I thought I only got to see half the episode.
I didn't know if you saw that preview. So he says that he typically goes for the more athletic and slender type of woman. So he went back and got a semi-automatic, okay, after he was attacked. And was laid on the ground under the car tire. He pulled out AR-15 and was like, "This is my shot spot," in front of everybody. And every woman in the group's face was just like, "Oh no, he didn't."
Oh.
And then there was like people moving around, and she was talking to him separately. Was like, "I need space from you. I can't believe you just said that. I can't believe you just said that you would go like more slender, like you're trying to say something about my body or something like that." He was like, "I didn't say slender." Yes, you did. Like you did, but I guess in the moment he was just mad. So it was like retaliation. So now people are like, "Ew, Clint is terrible." But I feel in this situation, they're both terrible. Yes, she didn't say it in front of the whole group. It's still on camera. And he said it in front of the whole group as a retaliation tactic to me. Because then he would have told her right then if that was really on his mind. But he was dwelling on it. He was just like, "This lady done embarrassed me on TV.
What I get back at her?"
Yes. So yeah. So that's next week. That's the big explosion for next week that's coming. And then
more?
The spoiler alert, which is not really a spoiler because Married at First Sight or Lifetime released this clip themselves, right? So this is weird. So there's a clip out there that shows Dominique and Clint kissing, and it actually says their name. So it's not even like you can be like, "Who is that?" Whatever. And it's a scene that looks like all the couples are there and like cheering and clapping and shocked and all this stuff. And I'm like, what is happening? And it's Dominique and it's Clint, and they're like slowly going together, but it looks like a weird kiss. And then Meredith, this is what they release. And I have two questions about this. Okay. Did they release this because people are saying that this season is boring? So they want people to stay engaged of, wow, what is happening? We got to figure out what's going on. So it's making people watch it till the end to see when this is going to happen? Or is this clickbait? Just completely like this is all made up. Oh no, we lost you again. Okay. Tay, you keep leaving me. Okay, maybe she can hear me.
Okay. I'm here. I'm back now. Okay. I just got off a 2-hour Zoom and didn't have no issues. And now all of a sudden, I got all these issues.
To Zoom or something. Or it's just the live stream part of it. That's probably what it is.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. I heard a little bit and then it cut off. I'm sorry.
So yeah, put it in the chat what y'all think. Why Lifetime would put out a teaser like this? Because I don't know.
So it was a separate teaser like of what's happening coming up this season. Like where was it released?
It was on their Instagram page. So it wasn't
on
even
their Instagram.
It was not on actual TV, which is also weird. But it was released by them. So it's not a spoiler because they want this to get out. I just think they think it's boring. Nope, she's frozen again. All right, we're going to move on because I don't want to be here all day. So got to move on. We got 2 more couples. Yes. Let's talk about Shaq and Kirsten.
I don't want to be here all day either. Okay.
Sorry. You go ahead and tell us about Shaq and Kirsten before you freeze again. Tell us what you think.
Shaq and Kirsten. Okay. I was happy to see that it looks like there has been a change in the how she's approaching him. Maybe I guess that's the way I'll say it. Well, why are you giving me that look? Just in that
You'll find
she
out.
seemed
Keep going.
very
Mhm.
she seemed very, very, distant before. And then in this episode, she was allowing him to like really hug on her, wrap his arms around her, and then she was talking about how he gives her a forehead kiss. And I was like, okay, so she seems to be starting to be more receptive to him. She even mentioned about in Jackson how she was happy that she ended up going with him. Um, and then let me see what I do remember. I do remember she was talking to him. They were like in a hammock or something, and he was like, she asked him, like, "You're like you're scared to kiss me," and I was like, "Well, why wouldn't he be scared? You not allowing him, or when he did ask, you told him no. So what's happening here?" And then she started giving this excuse about being a bad kisser, I think she said, and then she's not really big on kissing, and I was like, I don't believe that. So what's happening here? She did admit that she wasn't initially attracted to him because of his bald head. Um, but but overall, I just felt like, okay, there seems to be like she's starting to warm up to him a little bit more than where she was, wedding day, the next day, all of that. So I think that's everything in a nutshell. Go ahead.
Kirsten is playing games. Okay. I don't know what she wants on this show, but she playing games. So they do the ATV ride. Whatever. It was just, oh, come on, I love adventure. He's being slow. He's cautious because he got in that accident when he was younger. He said on after party that he actually still travels in a car very slowly, and he has scissors in his car to cut himself out if he's ever in an accident. So it's still kind of traumatic for him just to be doing anything super dangerous. Okay.
I thought about that when he made that comment. I was like, did anybody talk to him and ask if he would be okay with doing this?
He need
Because,
to talk to himself. No, nobody can't make you do anything. You would
and
say,
that's very
listen, I'm
true.
not okay with this one. Like, this is
Mm-hmm.
why
You go
I don't
ahead
want to
and
stop your
enjoy.
fun. So if you want to do it, that's okay. I'll do something else. I'll be there to cheer you on. But this is just not my thing. Or if I do it, I will be slow. So don't try to gas me up. Like, I don't want to stop the fun. I do want to experience it, but I'm not gonna do it on your level. We're gonna have that conversation. So that's on him. That's on nobody else. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, what happened?
Okay, sorry. I thought you had something else to say. So that was that whole thing. Sorry. That was that whole thing. Then the hammock situation. Okay. They go on the hammock. The first thing this girl says is, I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I want to go to sleep. And he proceeds to have a whole conversation. I don't want to talk to you. That's the very first thing they said. That he's like, "How you doing?" I'm tired. I'm hungry, and I just want to go lay down in a room. And she asked him, "Are you gonna go to the gym still?" And he's like, "Yeah, I gotta still look good, whatever." And so, poor Tay is still frozen. And she's like, "Well, I hope I don't gain 10 pounds on here, whatever." Blah 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 blah. So then she tells him she wasn't really attracted to him after he done said, I still like you. I'm still attracted to you. I tell you, you're beautiful every day. And then he says that I still get butterflies when I see you. Negro, you met her 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Mm-hmm.
You should still have butterflies. You don't need to tell me that. Don't try to gas me up on, don't be like Chris, because Chris at least knows how to do it in a better way than this. Stop it. So he says that, and she kind of lets him down easy, like, well, you could feel all them butterflies, but I still don't like you, and you growing on me. Like mold. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. Like, you're growing on me. Okay. So then she has the nerve to ask this man, are you afraid to kiss me? Do you feel like you're afraid to kiss me sometime? Like Ashante said. And I thought that was so disrespectful when you're the one that has told him to take it slow and that you don't want to kiss. Then we find out.
Ma'am.
Then we
Uh-oh.
find out on the after party that Kirsten is super touchy feely on camera and off camera. She tells him not to touch him, and
Oh.
is very standoffish and is totally opposite than how she is on camera. And I said, I could see it from the wedding night, even from the wedding day. She likes playing with people. She's sending those mixed signals. She sat on this man's lap. He asked for a kiss. She was like,
Mm-hmm.
ah, what you talking about? Yes, I want to be as close as possible to you, to be a little tease to you, to know you not getting none of this. Okay. And I'm gonna be on camera, I'm gonna be all hugged up. Oh, she's like, oh, I love being intimate, like touchy, feely, whatever. I just don't want you to kiss me. What? And that you're a bad kisser? Who told you that? Did you determine that you're a bad kisser? Did somebody tell you that you're a bad kisser? Girl, stop it.
Yes. Everything you said that I did catch. I totally see. She is playing games, acting like two different people. Keep the same energy. And that's why it was just like this little quick switch that you all very distant, and then like now you seem like you're receptive. I'm like, okay.
But he doesn't know what to
maybe,
do with that.
And like maybe she really did need that day of, okay, I need to really like, I'm married now. This is my husband. I need to start giving it a chance. And okay, I can let him put his arms around me. I'm maybe not ready for a kiss, but you know, a little embrace. But hearing that she's like just doing it for the cameras,
that's what
because now her perception,
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was to miss what you're saying. I was like, because she's worried about her perception on TV, that she's trying to look like on camera, like, oh yeah, no, I'm not as hard and as bad as I'm coming across, right? So I'll look more affectionate and touchy feely and all of that on camera. But as soon as they say cut, then listen, you stay in that corner, I'm gonna be in this corner.
Right. Are we wrapped? So, we're good. Okay. I'll see you later. And I'm surprised he would even say that if she was still his wife.
And that's exactly what I was about to say. I'm like, if you giving that tea now, that tells us, well, we already know what's gonna happen then. We already predicted it, but
I mean,
that's just confirmed.
And that's not changing. Anyways, so then they go to dinner. They had the dinner, and he's talking. Oh, okay, so he's talking, saying that, you know, he wants her to be more emotionally available to him or whatever, and she tells him, well, it would be nice, because, you know, she talks slow, like how Amani used to talk slow. It would be nice, like, if you could, like, stop talking at me, or, like, you know, you're presenting your thoughts to me, and actually talk normally to me. And he was just like, oh, I mean, I get that, because I always want things to be perfect. Like, even like since I was growing up, I've always wanted to say the right thing, present the right answer or whatever. She's like, yeah, I noticed. I want you to just talk normally to me. And so on After Party, Keisha asked him about that. Like, why does it sound like everything that you say is like, has to be the right answer? And he was like, ever since I was a young kid, I've always wanted to run for president. What happened? I can still hear you.
Oh. It falls on my ear. I'm not like say nothing else. I'm like, damn. Okay. Gosh darn it.
What happened? What I say? Anyways, he's just saying he's a politician, like we already said, that he curates all of his answers and his responses to sound very scripted. And remember, I told you He sounded like the Manchurian candidate last week. This is what he is. He's made himself a Manchurian candidate. He's trying to be Barack Obama. And I don't understand how you do that to the person that you're married with. But I guess because it's on TV, he feels like, oh, he has to present himself very like, this is who I am. But then we don't know who you are. Who are you? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so that was a good conversation to me, because you can't be in a relationship that's just somebody's like, I gotta say this, I gotta do this, I gotta, like, how do you even get to know somebody like that? So that was
Yeah,
all.
he's gonna have to let that go and
Yeah.
truly be himself. And she probably sees that too a little bit, and why she said that to him. But they definitely aren't gonna go nowhere if they can't be them true selves.
Yeah. And I don't see the chemistry. I've heard other, I listen to other podcasts and stuff like that. They say they see chemistry. I don't see it. I don't feel nothing when I see the two of them together. They're a good
The
looking
only
couple.
Yes.
That
Nicole and Chris are the only couple that I see, like, I would say, a chemistry.
Yes.
The rest are just like, okay,
We're here.
y'all just look good together, and y'all have to spend time with each other for the show, and that's about it. Okay, so speaking of Jasmine and Aris.
Mess. A mess. A mess. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So before I freeze, let me get my little things out. I'm looking at my notes. So they were at the beginning, they had like a little conversation about why his previous relationships didn't work out. And I feel like he was very honest about what happened. He wasn't mature enough. And he would find, the smallest things to like be like, oh no, this not gonna work, and break up with the person. And part of his little player ways. So I think he was honest in what he revealed about that. And then I hope this was genuine. I think he more said this next part because he knows it sounds good, and that's probably what he's supposed to do in terms of being there to help support Jasmine and talking about like with her mom's health and walking the dogs and all of that stuff. I'm like, that seemed like more of you think that's what you need to say. I don't know if you actually gonna do it. I would probably say he probably ain't gonna really be there to do it.
She sounds like she feels the same way too, because she kind of says, "Oh, everything he's saying is really nice. Now, will he actually, step up to the plate and do the things that he's talking about?" That usually you're not gonna say that if you feel
that.
Yeah, or even I know they don't know each other, but you can usually feel. I don't know. I feel like sometimes you trust people until they show you that they can't trust you. And he seems very wish-washy already. So she's probably like, let me just take my time. His crazy cousin.
Exactly.
Anything can happen. Go ahead. Sorry.
What I don't marry into, right? And then the next scene that I was just like, really, Negro, really? The dinner scene when she's like, ask me about myself. What do you want to know about me? And the first thing this dude gonna say is, what's your favorite sex position? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's what he thinking about.
I'm like, obviously, right? The only thing. So I was just like, and then what else? He also made some other comment. He kept kind of pushing it, right? Because she didn't want to answer. And then he brought it up again another way. And then he was like, oh, you're coming across very classy, like a lady. And she's like, well, yes, I'm classy. I'm a lady. He's like, but I need something like whore. He was like, I need you to come
whore.
like
I
more
needed
like
to be whore.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. No, he never got off the subject.
He never. Okay, that was.
He asked, hey, what do you want to know about me?
Oh, yeah.
To me, that means you have not been trying to actually get to know me. That's number one. I shouldn't have to ask you to ask me questions. Okay, that's number one. She says her favorite color or whatever he asked. Oh, what's your favorite color?
That is the one question he comes up with. What's your favorite
That was
color?
not a real
That's
question. It's not a
that's some
real
elementary
question.
school stuff.
But it
Like,
wasn't
yes,
a real question. It was just so he can ask the second, so he can
he
have this whole conversation about.
really, because how the conversation went, right? He asked her color. She said lavender. He was like, oh, yeah. He comes up with some BS
He said, I
statistic
heard,
that's in his mind
heard.
about, yeah, women in lavender like to do what? I don't know, some position or
Now,
something, he said.
this was a joke, okay? It was a joke. And to me, he was a little drunk. I could tell he was a little loosey then, because usually
He's a
he's
little
very
tipsy.
stiff, right? And he was like cracking himself up, but his face is still the same. I don't know why his face just doesn't change. And he was just like, yeah, I heard that their favorite position is downward facing dog.
Downward facing dog.
It's a
The yoga
yoga
position.
pose
That is
and
what
it's
he
a
said.
sexual.
That is what he said. Yeah.
But what's so funny about it is that all those comments, she is in lust. Okay. She loves this.
She was
She
liking
wish
it.
it wasn't
She was
on the
liking it.
camera. You know what I mean? But she actually really likes all of this. This is Eris's foreplay. This is how he bags his women. He goes, he makes these random little cute, like funny, not so funny, sexual innuendo jokes kind of thing. This is how they end up sleeping with him. And she loves it. Loves it. And she's a PK. So she's probably not used to speaking on this kind of stuff. And, you know, I'm sure her daddy's watching, the church is watching. So she's going to come off as modest on the screen, but she going to love all of this when they go back to the room. Oh, no, lost you again? All right. So anyways, so that was the dinner. We kind of fast forward to the dinner because it was just so ridiculous. They did go snorkeling. And that was cute, I guess. They went snorkeling. They had little snorkel kisses. They seemed like they had attraction to each other. He was having some issue with the equipment in his beard. And so she was helping him with that. And he was talking about, oh, should I shave it down? She's like, no, don't shave it down. I like it, blah, blah, blah. So, anyways, they were having a cute moment for the snorkeling. So nothing huge happened, but it shows that he liked that she was there for him when he was struggling with the whole mask thing and salt water probably going up in his nose and stuff like that. So, and then he has the confessional, which is so weird too. He's like weird. He's like a little robot to me or something. That he was like, yeah, we could tell like our kids this story like years from now that, you know, mom and I went snorkeling in Jamaica and the mask wasn't working. And then I had salt water in my nose and we were like, ha, ha, ha. And I was just like, what?
I remember that.
These conversations are so terrible to me. I don't understand why it's so bad. It's so bad. Anyways, let's fast forward to the last scene now.
Ooh, okay.
Them playing frisbee. Did you not see this one?
Frisbee. I did see them playing frisbee. I didn't know this was the last scene. Okay. There's
With
somebody.
them.
She's left-handed.
Yeah, so he says,
Okay.
oh, you're left-handed, which is weird because you noticed that I eat bacon every damn day and you didn't tell that I was eating with my left hand the entire time. This is what I'm talking about. This don't make no sense. Anyways, moving on. And at dinner, he asked this girl to feed him lobster. What is your deal with me putting food in your mouth, sir?
He wants to be catered to. Yeah.
And then ate the whole girl's lobster. She said,
and
I wanted you to take a
lobster is
bite. I would have ordered another lobster. Hey, this is on the tab. Run me another one. He done ate my whole lot. He actually take the rest of it. Give me another one. I want my own. I don't play with my food. Anyways, so back to frisbee. I don't know. He says a weird comment about her sister Like they were talking about family or whatever and how getting closer to
Mm-hmm.
family. And he was like, yeah, you know, your mom already likes me. Now I got to work on your sister. Like what happens if we end up being more close than y'all are? And I was just like,
Oh no, I missed this conversation.
but why? Why do you need to say that? And I know that's like another joke, but it's still gross to me. But,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, moving on to the highlight of this conversation is that he says that he's been in long term relationships, but he's never been in love, like ever. As an almost 40-year-old man, never been in love. And she was taken aback, like, how did you get through such a long relationship and you weren't in love? He was like, well, I love them and I did a lot for them and we were great together until we weren't, but I just was never like goo goo gaga in love, like goo goo gaga. I'm sorry. I have a child. Sorry. It's not goo goo. But I wasn't head over heels in love or what people say love is or whatever. I wasn't that. And I want to get your feedback on this. Two things. Do you
Okay.
think that he just doesn't know what being in love is and he was in love, but he just didn't recognize it? And is it a huge red flag that a 39-year-old man has never been in love and is now married?
Ooh, loaded questions. Okay.
And y'all answer in the chat
I
too.
can
Sorry, go ahead.
I can totally see a man, I'm just talking in general, at some point probably being in love and not realizing it. They probably
Mm-hmm.
have this preconceived notion of what that love is.
Yeah.
And because it didn't go the way they thought it was, then they would say, no, I wasn't in love. But a lot of it is just the actions, right?
Yeah.
And so I think if he was there and did certain things, he probably was in love. He just didn't
I think so
have
too.
a word for it, or just it didn't come the way he pictured it, what it would
Yeah.
look like.
And he grew up with just his mom. So I'm wondering if he didn't see what that would equate to in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe he's thinking, oh, this is what it looks like on TV or something, or maybe this is what it looks
Mm-hmm.
like with his uncle or something like that. But that doesn't mean that is the only version of being in love with someone. And I think the way how he described it to her, that he was like all of these things with this person, but not in love, I was like, I think he just doesn't understand what it is. So, okay. Next, answer the next one.
The next one, I don't know. For me, I would see it as a red flag because I'm like, so at no point you just never been in love. But then again, it probably is you was in love, you just didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so and then I think it maybe I would need to know more about the person. Like where were they? You know, a lot of times you hear men that are very focused on career or what have you, and that they just didn't have time for love. And so maybe that's
Or
why later,
they were in their whole
or
phase.
they're the one trying to be attached or in love with anybody. So
Mm-hmm.
it takes them to get into a certain point in life, which this might be that point for
Yeah.
him, to be like, okay, now I'm ready for all that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would depend on the person and what I know about them, whether that would be a red flag or not.
These are great answers. We're gonna play Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer. I agree with both of them because I feel like maybe he has been in love. I also feel like it's not necessarily a red flag if you've never been in love because it takes two to tango. Maybe he was in his
Mm,
whole phase for 20s and 30s, or what is he, 39? Maybe for most of his 30s. And now when he was ready to settle down, then he just never connected with someone on a long-term level, right? Because you can't fall in love with somebody by yourself. I mean, you
mm,
can, but then that's like stalker territory. You don't want to do that. So you gotta be able to have that together. And it depends on the other people and who you find. What if you just never found somebody that you can be in love with? Is that your fault that you've never been in love? Even though maybe you're picking the wrong women or whatever. I don't think that's your fault. So I don't really understand why it's always a huge red flag on this show. And going back to what I said about the experts, we've seen it's been a huge issue. Why is that not a question? Have you been in love before? You've never been in love before? Maybe this is not a good show to be on because the people that they tie them to have an issue that they've never been in love before. This is not the first time we've seen this. I don't understand. Why? I don't know. Anyway.
So when he said that, she really seemed to have like a whoa, like
yes, she
a
stopped
big
talking.
problem with it.
She was just like, oh, I'm just,
Mm-hmm.
oh, really? Like, oh. And usually she's more like, oh, okay. And she was not that. She was very concerned that he's never been in love before. So, yep, that's all I got.
Well, with them two, my last comment, the whole pork thing. Oh my Lord. I'm like, is that gonna really be an issue? Because, you know, he doesn't eat pork, she does. And then he's counting how many days she done had pork. Let that woman be. If she likes her pork, let her eat it.
She's on vacation. What is your problem with pork? Why don't we talk about that? What's your issue? Tell me that.
Because you don't eat it. It just sound like, yeah. And then you're gonna take the whole plate, smell it and all of that. No.
Keep smelling it. You want me to order another plate? I don't eat bacon, but out of spite, because I'm petty, I would be ordering bacon for the rest of the experiment. I would just get it delivered. I would cook it in the morning. I might cook it for dinner. I might feed it to the dogs. All right, guys, come on, all 13 of y'all.
You like bacon again?
Bacon time. Yes.
More bacon?
Yeah. I'm gonna go to Sam's and Costco to get the big stack. I want all the bacon. Keep talking about my bacon.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So that was my last little comment regarding them. Anything else on the after party worth mentioning?
I think I snuck in everything. No, that's good. Sorry if you hear my child in the background. It's so loud.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. That's it for this week's episode of the Coily Crowns, recapping Married at First Sight, episode 5, season 16. As we said,
go ahead.
As we said earlier, we will.
No, Tay, you do not freeze on the outro. I don't even know what to say. Subscribe, like, send us some recommendations of a good internet plan so Ashante will not be freezing every week. And remember to join us in the chat sometimes. We answer. We'll talk. And we'll be back sometime next week, not on Sunday because of the Super Bowl. So I hope y'all enjoy y'all Super Bowl if y'all root for a team. And, oh, yeah, she's here to say goodbye. Go ahead, say goodbye.
Just don't have my Cash App too, so you can send me some coins to help get the better internet then.
Please, next time we're going to put Cash App as her name instead of that, okay? All right. Always remember to protect your throne. Bye, y'all.
Yes. Bye.